There's some certain things you need to do to be a successful deer hunter each and every year. And it's more of a general thought. If you live by a certain set of rules and commandments, then it's really hard to fail. You have to almost try to fail. And it's almost like some hunters each year, they do the same thing every single year expecting the same results. And then when they don't get that higher level of success, they blame other people. I think a lot of this, we have a lot more concern. A lot of the videos I talk about, we have a lot more of an ability to improve our hunt than we give ourselves credit for. We get mad at the state, we get mad at neighbors, we get mad at deer regulations, when really a lot of times it comes right back in here and here when it comes to improving yourself as a hunter and making sure you have a good hunt. So I want to come up with 3 commandments to live by when you go out hunting, and we could share some more here too, but number 1, thou shalt not waste time. What do I mean by that? You know, a lot of times hunters say, well, I'm just out here for the beauty. You know, I'm just going to go out and sit and enjoy the day. There's nothing wrong with that. If you want to be a better hunter, if you want to improve your hunt, if you want to find success, you can't look at it like, hey, I'm just going for a walk in the woods. You can do that anywhere. Just go hiking, go fishing, go grouse hunting. Laying your back with a pellet gun looking for squirrels at 70 feet up into an overstory of oak branches. That's fun. Actually, you might learn a little bit about hunting too when you do that. Learn to be patient, quiet, watch the woods wake up when you're just laying on your back. The bottom line is, when you're a deer hunter, think about everything you do. And this isn't overthinking things, this isn't overcomplicating things. What it's doing is just thinking, when I'm going to this stand, what am I trying to accomplish? Are you just trying to accomplish burning your half day or day off? Or are you actually trying to accomplish the actual art of hunting? And I think a lot of times it boils back down, you know, be a predator. If we look at our hunting situations as being a predator, we think, what would a predator do? You know, a predator is not going to wander through the woods hunting unless there's a purpose. They're looking for game. They're looking for game everywhere. Now, it's different when they're lounging on a rock like a bobcat in the sunlight. That's just lounging around, soaking up some rays. Bottom line is, really look at every act that you do. It doesn't matter if you're building habitat on your own private parcel. It doesn't matter if you're scouting on public land. What is your purpose? Why are you going that direction? If it's just because you want to see what that pretty woods looks like, or that drop off over there, or what the river edge looks at, think of always strategy when it comes to whitetail. Again, you don't have to overthink it. It doesn't have to be overcomplicated. It's just everything you do when it comes to your whitetail endeavors and your passion for that. And I guess that's why throughout the years I didn't spend a lot of time shed hunting. I enjoy shed hunting, especially when we have antlers we know are out on the property. But I didn't enjoy shed hunting in the past because I didn't think it directly related to how I was going to shoot deer in the fall. Now, I'm not saying it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time sometimes for your endeavor to actually shoot a whitetail in the fall. You spend so much time looking for antlers on the ground, you're not paying attention to the big picture. And what I found were a lot of the best shun hunters that I've known, not all of them, but some of the best ones don't shoot a lot of deer. They find a lot of antlers. They don't shoot a lot of deer. So I look at it like, man, I don't want to be like that person. Yeah, I want to be like that person that hunts a lot of antlers and they find them and they shoot a bunch of deer. But what is the difference? Just because you're finding an antler doesn't mean that you're actually on the path to having a great whitetail hunt. Understand the strategy every time you're in the woods. Understand that every time you go in the woods, an opportunity to better yourself and to find out more about whitetails. If you're always learning, if you're always watching, if you're always open to learn when you're in the woods and you're always moving with a purpose, then every single year you're going to improve as a whitetail hunter, and that's a really cool thing. Thou shalt not spook deer. That's a huge one. How much of your hunting hours are spent in preparation mentally and physically of making sure you can get to your stand or blind without spooking deer? If you put more time into building your blind than you do in thinking of how you're going to get there without spooking deer, and on private land, thinking how you're going to, not only thinking about how you're going to get there, how are you planning to get there? What are you building? What are you planting? What are you changing so that you can get into that location without spooking deer? If you spend a large percentage of your time focusing on being a predator, getting in and out of your stands without spooking deer, then you're going to have a really good hunt. Because the name of the game is, if you can go sit in the woods, I don't care if it's a 5-acre woods in a subdivision. If you can get in that 5 acres of woods and these deer that are in this 2 acres over here, that 10 acres over here, this backyard over here, don't know you're in there, then you can have a great hunt. Doesn't matter what kind of stand you have, doesn't matter what camo you have, doesn't matter what kind of weapon you're using. You just got in without spooking deer. How many people get in and out of their hunting land without spooking deer? What I find, it's a very small percentage, and that's a bad thing. That's why I call the mature buck parcels. You know, less than 3% of all lands hold mature bucks during the daylight. The reason is because the majority of hunters spook deer. That's the lowest hole in the bucket, how you hunt. If you can get in and out of a parcel without spooking deer, if you can design that parcel, you can design your hunt on public land so that you don't spook a lot of deer, then you're gonna have a great hunt. Number 3, thou shalt not grow stale. You're not becoming complacent. If you always do what you've always done, you always get what you had. I see a lot of people, the UP of Michigan where I lived for 14 years, my kids still live up there, some of them. And you look at those areas where I know someone that sat in the same blind, staring at the same bait pile, hunting the same way for 30 years. He obviously enjoyed it. It's not a bad thing. But again, I'm talking to the people that want to succeed, want to improve themselves, want to have a better hunt. You know, again, if that's what you enjoy taking your vacation on, I'm not knocking that. That's awesome. You're a hunter, you're out in the woods. I don't care how you're hunting, it's legal. As long as it's a legal method, it doesn't matter to me. So bottom line is, though, that person is enjoying the hunt, they're having a good time, but they're not improving themselves as a hunter. So how are you improving yourself as a hunter? You know, how are you looking at things and saying, you know, I want to be different this year? What are you doing differently? What are you learning? What did you learn last year? What have you learned so far this year? So I think, you know, a lot of people just go into hunting blindly. Need to get out in the woods. Have time off, need to sit. We're so robotic that we don't take the time to sit back, sit on the couch, for example, think about, be smart about, and plan your hunt accordingly so that you can find success and change things up. Doesn't mean you need to try every gimmick and fad out there. It just means you need to make smart decisions. Those are the 3 commandments that I live by. Some others too, but to actually go into the woods and find success every year, if you do those 3 things, you'll find consistent success. Then it just comes back to how much you learn, how much you apply. I encourage you to, you know, thou shalt not grow stale. You're not going to learn how to hunt whitetails fully unless you actually hunt in a lot of different habitats for deer, including public and private land. If you've hunted the same private land parcel and you have a great hunt, that doesn't mean you're a good hunter. That just means you're a good hunter in that spot. Yeah, you shot some big bucks in that spot, but you can't translate that anywhere else. So you need to learn how to hunt on public land, private land, good private land, bad private land, big private land, small private land, little woodlots of public land, big woodlots, north, south, east, west. Then that's when you actually learn how to be a whitetail hunter. You're not going stale. You're trying new things. Because you can learn how to hunt your own little woodlot and be a good hunter. But when you go out and hunt all these other places and then come back, now you're going to be a great hunter on that little parcel and get the most out of it. Again, not growing stale. Make a little saying down here, be a predator, make smart decisions, and always try to improve yourself. If you're doing that, you'll be a successful hunter. And those are some commandments to live by, a saying that you can live by to be a good hunter for the rest of your life. I appreciate you guys watching the YouTube channel, but I don't know if everyone knows everything that we have to offer, whether it's on whitetailhabitatsolutions.com, our website, or WHS Wildlife Blends, our seed company. Also Instagram you can check out. I'm very active on Instagram, putting strategies on there, photos of what we do every day. Much more active there than Facebook. But our seed, web classes, books, clients, articles. I have over 600 articles on whitetailhabitatsolutions.com, everything whitetail strategy. Of course, we have hats on there, and then make sure to check us out on Instagram again. But lots of stuff to offer. We're always coming out with new things, and this isn't the end of it. We have more things coming soon. Make sure to check us out.